What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna actually be going over some of the equipment I use to do the drone filming on my channel. I know a couple of you guys have been asking what I use to actually get the shots I do, but I just wanted to get some of my equipment together so you could actually see what I use to get these shots. I'm gonna go over the drones I use, the equipment to actually fly it, the goggles, all that good stuff. That way you know exactly what I'm using to actually get every single shot. Not every piece of equipment I can use for each individual shot. I'll explain which ones I use for different scenarios and kind of how I get that done. First thing I would be using would be my FPV drone. This one is a custom built drone from Druhawk. They actually have a kit called the Skyliner MK3, and it's actually built from, I believe, the Ladrib, I think his name is. This kit is awesome. It goes super fast. Doesn't have like GPS tracking or anything like that, but mainly this drone is going to be for like the fast pace first person view flying. You're going to be doing tricks with this one, very fast flying through like objects and stuff like that. It's not very good for doing slow footage. It's more for fast pace, like I said. And with this drone, I'm actually using the Fat Shark system. Came out almost a year ago now, May of 2022. I've been enjoying this system. They are rolling out updates for it. It's getting better. I can't say it's the #1 system out there right now. It's still a really good option if you want to use something other than DJI. I like to use both of them, but this one is my main flyer for freestyle and fast-paced shots. For the camera that I actually mount to this, I actually use a DJI Action 2. Basically, you unclip the camera from the top here and you slide it in this little piece right here, and different mounts you can actually have, like ND filters, different style of like angle of it. Depending on how fast you fly with the tilt angle, basically the more you tilt, it's gonna point towards the ground. The slower you go, the more it's gonna point towards the sky. So they have different mounts you can slide these cameras into to do some filming with that. You can also go with GoPro products. There's a bunch of different cameras you can use. I just decided to go with the DJI Action 2 because it was smaller, has a lot less weight than everything else. Only downside is that you don't have external batteries. You actually have to charge it each time. I get about 30 minutes of filming. It just depends on the weather outside, a bunch of other factors on it. And then other downside is there's no internal storage on these. You have a little base it comes with. When I got it, has the screen on the bottom, so if you wanted to use it like a traditional action camera or like a vlogging camera, you have the front facing screen here, you've got the back facing screen here, but this actually works as storage and a charger. Only downside is you have to have it plugged into this thing through their latch system. It just clips right on, and yeah, it's a really good camera. I've been enjoying it. There are downsides depending on which cameras you go with. You have upsides and downsides. Like I said, this one's lighter, so it's better for doing tricks and stuff like that, but when it comes for long flying, for long videos, you're gonna need a little bit more oomph, or you're gonna have to land every so often to charge it. But other than those two things, I can show you the goggles here. Like I said, I'm using the Fat Shark Dominator HD. These are their newest goggles in their lineup, and basically what the goggles do is when you're flying, there's these little lenses like a VR goggle headset, and basically when you're flying, you're actually seeing out the front of the camera. This is, like I said, all the fast-paced shots, all the crashes I've had have been with this drone and this setup. With these drone setups for first person, they're a lot harder to fly because a lot of the drones that you get from commercial grade, you'll be flying them, and once you tilt it forward, if you let go of the sticks on this controller, it'll put it right back to where it was. With FPV, you actually fly it, and if you turn the drone, let's say to the side like this, it won't readjust itself. You're gonna have to flip it back over to where you had it if you want it to fly. It's a lot less forgiving than consumer drones when it comes to actually flying them, but it's still a lot of fun. You can get into a lot of trouble with them. You can do a lot of tricks with them. If you're looking to get in drones, I do recommend using a simulator first. I wouldn't just recommend jumping into one of these drones that can be quite expensive. I kind of learned the hard way. I did fly some time in the simulator, but like I said, if you want to jump up to the 5-inch drone and you don't have to worry about breaking stuff and worrying about money to pay for all that stuff, go ahead and do it. If you want to go jumping right into flying drones, they actually have something called a Cinewhoop or a Tiny Whoop. A Cinewhoop is basically a drone like this, but it has guards around the props, so basically if you crash into anything, crash into anybody, it won't wreck your props. They're a little bit more robust, but they don't fly as well as these. So with drones, you actually get what's called prop wash when you actually go down pretty low, and basically it's the air coming back and it's hitting the drone and it makes it unstable in the air. With the Cinewhoops, you get a lot of that, but they are a lot more forgiving when you actually crash them. Tiny whoops, it's basically the same thing, but a shrunken down version of them. They have bigger ones, smaller ones. There's some that get pretty small. You can pick up a kit for one of those for $100, a couple $100. You can buy them online or any drone store near you. If you wanted to jump straight into actually flying real drones, I would recommend getting a tiny whoop, or if you don't want to spend all the money on that first, buy a controller. Use a simulator. The simulators aren't too expensive. A lot of time you can get them on sale on Steam or other stores as well. But yeah, been using this setup for a little while now. I'm starting to like it a bit. It's not as common, but it's starting to be more common in a lot more packages that you can buy. Let's say you wanted to get this X setup. I know Rotorite sells this drone with these goggles. The only other thing you'd have to pick up is batteries and a remote for it. Going into the remote, I decided to go with the TBS Tango 2. Why I like this remote, as you can see, it's a lot smaller than other remotes. The other remotes tend to be a lot bigger, and the TBS system actually runs on what's called Crossfire. Basically, what Crossfire is on the drone, they have a little module, and basically it's a system they use to transfer all the data for actually flying the drone. Crossfire tends to have, I wouldn't say the best range out there. It has one of the best range. A lot of people use Crossfire. The actual modules for the Crossfire systems are pretty small. They don't weigh too much. Personally, I like the smaller form factor remote. Some people like the bigger ones. I like the ones that are more like a gaming controller. It makes it a little bit more comfortable to hold. You do have bigger hands. You might not like it if you do pinching on the finger sticks. If you do thumbs, you might be a little bit more comfortable if you have big hands, but pinching, personally, I like it. I'm able to do it with this remote, but people with bigger hands, they may struggle to do that. Now for my longer drawn out shots that you're gonna need to fly really slow, very smooth cinematic shots, I use the DJI Classic 3 kit. The drone comes with the remote. This is a newer kit. I would say it's about a year old, but basically for slower shots, you're gonna wanna use one of these. You can get away with using a FPV drone, but it always is a little bit easier with these. They have a little bit nicer cameras on them. This can film up to 5K. It does time lapses, hyper lapses. It has all these different options to actually fly it. It's just super plug and play. Only thing with these is you don't have as much control when it comes to flying crazy. If you wanna go with freestyle flying, where you're doing tricks and trying to fly through stuff, you would more wanna go towards a drone like this. Smaller form factor, they fly a lot faster. You can get into a lot more trouble with it. But with these, if you're trying to do slow, drawn out cinematic shots, I would recommend something like this, or maybe even the smaller models. They have the DJI Mini Pro, I believe. Same remote and everything like that. Comes with the remote, the screen, everything built into it. Very nice setup. I plan to be taking out this thing more as I film a bit more. But yeah, depending on what direction you want to go with flying a drone, you can go this route. They're a lot harder to crash. They have a lot more safety systems in it. They just tend to be a little bit easier to fly. One thing I will say though is batteries for these tend to be a lot more expensive. A battery for the freestyle drones are about 60 bucks. These batteries are about $200. So buying batteries is a bit more expensive, but like I said, you're not going to be replacing them as much with those ones. If you crash or in the battery, you're going to want to replace them. You don't want to buy a broken battery. You don't want it to catch fire. Other than the drone stuff, you're going to want a nice bag to carry everything in. I actually use the Torval Urban Carry bag, and I actually like this bag quite a bit. It's not the largest backpack, but it's still a decent size. And basically with this bag, I'm able to fit my drones, batteries, goggles, all the equipment, toolkit, charger, all that good stuff in here. It zips from the front, drops down. It's got room for extra props and stuff like that. Really solid bag. You can attach stuff for more storage on the outside with the MOLLE system right here. I know a bag's not too interesting, but like I said, you're not gonna wanna be carrying each individual item in separate cases or bags. You're gonna wanna invest in a good backpack if you're gonna be buying all this drone stuff. It makes it easier just to carry it around, keep it safe. Take it from me, it's not a lot of fun carrying all your stuff around, and then let's say you have to walk a distance to get out to a location to fly. You don't wanna be carrying each individual item. it's definitely nice to have a good bag that can get everything there in one nice pack. You don't have to worry about it. You put all your stuff in there, get it out to your location, pull your stuff out, fly, then you can pack it all back in really easy, throw it on your back and get back at it when you need to. Other than my filming equipment and my drone bag, for all my video editing, I use my iPad Air and my MacBook 15-inch Pro. They're a little bit older, gets the job done. I actually use Premiere Pro, and I also use my desk that I have back here. I have a PC that I built about 2 years ago. Been using Premiere Pro for a little while now, just trying to get used to doing different transitions and different filming styles and all that stuff. But as I get better, I can give you updates on how I use that system, and as my equipment changes, I can show you what I change with my system as well. Not a very long video. I just wanted to show you what I use to make all my videos for YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff. If you have any other questions about my setup, feel free to put a comment below. Go ahead and check out my TikTok at Druhawk, and then my Instagram at DRU_Allen598. I have plenty of other content that's on my channel, and I have more to come. I should be going on some trips soon, so I can get some more content for you when it comes to actually flying the drones. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like on here. If you enjoy me all together, give me a subscribe, hit the notification bell. Other than that, see ya!